Hey, what's up, fam? At long last, after such a long period of waiting, I finally get to see Zora again in this chapter for Black Clover 175. Obviously, he's not the main focal point of the chapter. He's not the main thing I'm going to talk about. But as a big fan of Zora, I will say they were just real quick that before going into this arc, like heavy when it was just starting, I had four real goals, like four things on my wish list. One was I wanted Mary Leona to have a have her own fight. I wanted Nozzle to have his own fight, Zora to have his own fight, and to have a duo match of Asta and Yuno against somebody together. I got half it so far, and this chapter is set up for the Nozzle fight and a Zora fight, so I'm looking forward to that amazingly. It's gonna be awesome. It was cool to see everyone kind of meet back up. Zora get trolled by Yami, and then do his whole all the crazy facial reactions that he so far has he's been known to lay out in the series. But also I like him kind of go off on his own because out of all of them, he's one of the only people that should be able to beat any of these elves as long as he can lay out his traps and be smart about how he does things because he's not a power or even really that hacks based one. He's more of a tactical fighter. He's more of setting stuff up and paying off using his own intelligence and cunning, and that'll be pretty cool if I get what I need for that. But yeah, I look forward to it. I want to see him go all out as himself and not as like a team player. I want to see him as his own guy. But anyway, it was cool to see Noelle and Nozzle go into the castle to go and help their siblings, Nebra and Solid. I really like seeing the weirdness of Nozzle's Mercury magic, the way that he's just like he's in this like stemmed up sphere, and he's got all these shields, and he's using the puddles on the ground to create like attacks from behind people. It looks really good. He's got a lot of cool setups, and it's just the creativity that he has with his power is very interesting. But also in this chapter, the fact that Tabata was able to take compass magic and turn it into a pretty intimidating and like OP ability is ridiculous. Like I saw like the chick use like compass magic, and I was just like, what the fuck is she gonna do with compass magic? And then it was like, okay, here comes some clones. You got some illusion clones, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna use the compass magic. It points to the true one, and then shoot like a compass needle, like a fucking javelin, and pierce them. I think, and then like it's just crazy to see how like he's already done this, able to redirect attacks with like pointing them in different directions. We even got it with Noelle's Sea Dragon Roar, which I thought was actually really funny because I was talking about the other day. Is her big thing is that she's got mostly defensive spells right now, but she also has her Sea Dragon Roar, and it's very large level of power she can use a few times a day. And the fact that though she can hurt people much higher level than her if it hits, but obviously she needs her wand for control, and anybody who could just it doesn't seem that hard to dodge, or in this case reflect it. The fact that this elf was able just to drop the compass and just drive it straight up, but also like when like drop this big illusion, like all right, let's get out of here. To use the This elf, she uses like was this spell another atlas, where it's like, yeah, everything in this zone now the mana is unstable. You're not going to be able to use stuff properly. Even Nozzle's having a little bit of trouble keeping his Mercury to a shape, and he and Noelle are the only ones that are going to be able to fight him right now because Nebra and Solid are kind of down and out. But what's really good in this chapter, obviously, anybody who's read this already, the most important thing is, as I've said before, uh, Nozzle doesn't seem hateful when he would like talk down to Noelle. It seemed more like he's a man of results, because we saw he was more upset during the first invasion when the Eye of the Midnight Sun invaded back in the early chapters of the series. He was very upset that he and the rest of his order weren't able to be more useful, and the captains got trapped and were teleported out of the capital, and it took them a while to get back. And during that gap of time, Fuego Leon was captured, momentarily injured, and almost killed, where he lost his arm. And similar to like how Nozzle kind of like looked at Asta and he's like, oh, he's got no magic, but later he sees that Asta is capable of doing things, and then he kind of acknowledged him. Same thing with Noelle. He seems much more of somebody who's like very kind of centered around the idea of his job, and people he thinks aren't going to be useful and not beneficial to the whole career and responsibilities of being a Magic Knight. He's just like, I don't have time for you, whatever, get out of here. But when they prove themselves, he acknowledges them. He says, all right, yeah, you guys are good. And then we see this in this chapter that Noelle, who he's been shitting on since the start of the series, and even before that, because he's had a problem with her long, like into it. That I'm wondering if it was not just that Noelle, uh, they're not their parents, their mother died while giving birth to Noelle, and it wasn't just that. It was like she died giving birth to somebody who's not useful to the family or to the country. But now that Noelle's showing that she's becoming capable, she's learning her own thing, and you know he's looking at her and saying, yeah, we're gonna show him the power of the Silva family, and it's just pretty cool to see his character finally giving Noelle the recognition that she deserves at this point for all the training and effort she's put in. She's a pretty good character. I like her, and it was so satisfying to see her finally get that acknowledgement from Nozzle, which is really cool. And it really does play into his character. He's not an asshole to be an asshole. He's an asshole when he's like someone's in the way, someone is making it harder to do certain things in his line of work. But obviously, if they aren't, he's fine with them. And I don't know. I think that's very cool of the character design, that he's obviously very dedicated to his job, but also the step forward for Noelle of seeing what she's now. It's going to be cool in the next couple chapters when she's getting praise from Nozzle and everything that will follow up after this arc, regardless of even if Nozzle doesn't make it out of this alive, we don't know. But yeah, so tell me what you think about the chapter in the comments below. I thought it was great. I really liked seeing Zora. I liked Noelle having this step forward for a character. I like the further grounding of my kind of like understanding of Nozzle, of how he kind of acts towards other people, and it being more about results and usefulness, and less about kind of the overall vision of how he has for royalty and royal families, which is, you know, seemed to be a bit of a staple of the series. But otherwise, if you like my content, check out my other videos. I do mostly manga stuff, Fairy Tail, Eden Zero, Black Clover, and soon to be Radiant, the first official French manga turned Japanese anime. Comes out a week from today, which is going to be really awesome. I look forward to it and doing weekly reviews on it, as well as a couple other manga that I'm gonna, or not manga, anime that I'm going to be following on a regular basis. I'm gonna announce those in my 500 subs video, which I'll be able, hopefully I'll be able to do soon. I'm at 489 last time I checked. Yeah, but otherwise, if you are subscribed already, thank you. If you aren't, I'd appreciate if you would subscribe. But otherwise, thank you very much for listening.